Hi everybody and welcome back to the Celtic Way YouTube channel. A big thank you to all our members that are accessing this video a little bit earlier. If you want to support our work just a little bit more, then please join our YouTube members channel. For just £2.99 a month, you'll receive early video access, priority comments and exclusive members chat function. Press that join button on your desktop on the YouTube channel and join us for £2.99 a month and get all those extra privileges. My name is Ryan McGinlay. Today I'll be talking about Celtic 2, Hearts nothing, as Celtic made it 6 wins from 6 to begin their domestic campaign in all competitions. Perfect record, only 1 goal conceded, plenty of goals scored, so let's get into it and talk about it. So 2-0 against Hearts. It was goals from Arne Engels, who made his first start for the club, and Luke McCown, who came off the bench to make his second appearance for Celtic. As you can just see in the right-hand side, here are all the stats from the game. So 2-0, the XG was 2.43 to Hearts' 0.61, which went down to 2.39 to 0.61. It stayed the same for Hearts, but it changed just a little bit for Celtic when you look at post-shot XG. Celtic had 18 shots to Hearts' 7, 5 shots on target to Hearts' 4. They probably should have done better with the chances that they did get on target. In terms of possession, it was 71% to Hearts' 29%, 88 pass completion percentage to Hearts' 64, 753 passes were attempted by Celtic, 661 were completed to Hearts' 193 from 302 total passes. There was 106 pressures to Hearts' 176, which is to be expected as Hearts had less of the ball. That meant they were pressuring Celtic more because they were off the ball for longer. Pressure regains, Celtic nearly caught up with Hearts at a rate of 29 to 30 in favour of the away side. Tackles won 22 out of their 26 for Celtic, whereas Hearts won 25 of their 32. Yellow cards, 1 to Hearts' 1, and there was no red cards or second yellow cards. Let's have a wee look at some more of the stats in this game. So let's have a wee look at the top 5 key passes so far, and it was a really good afternoon for the right-hand side of Celtic's attack and defence, really, because Nicholas Kuhn and Alistair Johnston both play on the right wing and the right back positions respectively. They both had 4 key passes at an XG of 0.56 and 0.26 respectively. You can see that the two of them are really having a good time together. They're really linking up in those moments and providing and causing havoc to the opposition, even though I would say that both of those players have had certainly better games this season, especially in the case of Alistair Johnston, who made a couple of really nearly costly errors in the second half with some displaced passes, or misplaced passes rather, but they didn't cost Celtic in the end, so that was the main thing. Nicholas Kuhn, he was more of a frustrating performance where he could have released the ball earlier, he could have maybe taken a shot earlier, more on that later, but he was definitely effective in the key passes. James Forrest had 2 coming off the bench. Dyson Maeda had 2. He was playing from the start on the left wing, and Lewis Palma got 1 key pass despite coming on as a sub for the aforementioned Dyson Maeda. Let's have a wee look at those shooters today. Kyogo Furuhashi had 4 shots with an XG of 0.63 in Saturday's game. Arne Engels had 4, making his first start for Celtic, but really making a positive impact in all areas. We'll have more on him later on as well, at an XG of 0.99. The fact that's went up so highly is because he had a really high shot XG, and a penalty usually goes for 0.78 in XG, so it's a high chance. That's the reason why his number is so inflated. Rio Hatate had 2 shots at an XG of 0.10. Luke McCown had 2 as well, including 1 goal at 0.09, and Nicholas Kuhn had 2 shots at an XG of 0.32. As I said before, he probably should have had more shots, but it was due to him maybe thinking too much about what he was doing in front of goal or making the wrong decision. He should have had more shots at goal. He probably should have had a couple of goals in the game, but it wasn't to be, potentially leaving his shooting for later on in the week against Slovan Bratislava and Falkirk respectively. Let's have a wee look at some of the other stuff in this game. Passing network shows that Nicholas Kuhn and Alistair Johnston both had really good games in on-ball value. These passing networks look at on-ball value to determine who's had a good game on the ball, as well as who maybe struggled on the ball too in terms of effectiveness. So the redder the circle and the bigger the circle is, the greater the OBV values and the greater the passes. So the smaller it is, the less passes, but the warmer the colour, the better in OBV. So you can clearly see on that right-hand side that Nicholas Kuhn and Alistair Johnston were thriving in this game. As well on the left-hand side is Daizen Maeda, who has a more orangey colour, and Liam Scales, who is going towards the red too. Cameron Carter-Vickers as well on the right-hand side of the fence. The right centre-back had a good game, as well as Cal McGregor in the middle. Kyogo Furuhashi is cutting a bit of a lonely figure up front, which is shown by the lack of lines, which indicates that he wasn't getting the ball to him a lot, even though he did have a couple of chances. Arne Engels and Rio Tati, although they did have better games in other areas, weren't very good in on-ball value, although that's only one metric that you can look at coming into a game like this. You look at that, and then you look at the eye test as well as other metrics, especially in the case of Arne Engels. He did have a good game despite this showing. Greg Taylor also had a good game at left back, both in the eye test and in OBV, so that was good to see. If we look at the formation that Celtic took today, now it was interesting last week that Celtic went with a 4-2-3-1 against Rangers, but they did revert back to a 4-3-3 against Hearts on last Saturday afternoon. It was Kasper Schmeichel in goals, left back Greg Taylor, two centre backs being Cameron Carter-Vickers and Liam Scales, and the right back being Alistair Johnston. In the defensive midfield, in the base of the midfield, it was Cal McGregor, supported by Rio Hatate on the left and Arne Engels on the right, instead of Paulo Bernardo, who would have felt a little bit aggrieved that he didn't get the start. Daizen Maeda on the left wing, Nicholas Kuhn on the right wing, and Kyogo Furuhashi up front. The subs on the day were Lewis Palma, Adam Ida, Luke McCown, Paulo Bernardo and James Forrest. They all made their way onto the pitch, and the subs that weren't used were Austin Trusty, Alex Baye, Viljami Sinisalo and Anthony Ralston. So those players didn't get on the park, but we will be looking for a debut from two of those players, in Trusty and Baye, over the next couple of games, you would imagine and you would expect. Looking at the pressure maps, you can see just on the left and right hand side, that is where a lot of the pressures are going, thanks to the likes of Nicholas Kuhn, Daizen Maeda, Greg Taylor and Alistair Johnston bombing up those wings and making things difficult, both on the ball and off of it. Let's have a look at some other key things. Let's look at the shot map from the game, and you can see that square just in the middle, just at the penalty area, which was by far the highest XG chance of the game, which came to Arne Engels, who shot right past Craig Gordon, went to Craig Gordon's left-hand side, his right-hand side, and he scored the goal, which made it 1-0 on the day. Bit of a controversial penalty shout, you would say, on both sides, but it seems as if the referee got the right decision after consultation from VAR. Liam Scales handled the ball in the box, but it was too close proximity to the player, and that got overturned, whereas James Penrice of Hearts, formerly of Livingston, handled the ball. His arms were outstretched. The natural silhouette was unnatural, and the penalty was given to the former Livingston player, current Hearts player, joined there in the summer. So Arne Engels stepped up, composed, pressure situation, and just side-footed it past Craig Gordon in the back of the net. Then you go into Luke McCown's goal, which Craig Gordon will really be ruined, and I think will be quite frustrated when he looks back on it. McCown got a couple of touches of the ball before shooting a team shot to Craig Gordon, the former Celtic goalkeeper. As you can see at the bottom, or maybe you can't see, but it's a bit blurry, it's 0.05 in XG, and the post-shot XG, once the shot left McCown's boot, was 0.18. It was touched in, it says at the very bottom of the diagram, which makes you think that Gordon should have and could have done a lot better at keeping this shot out. But Luke McCown won't care. He went absolutely crazy after the goal, and I think everyone's absolutely delighted that he's off the mark for Celtic in his Celtic career. Joined the club only a couple of weeks ago from Dundee, but he has really sort of set the heather alight in both of his sub appearances thus far, and he's a bit of a darling to the Celtic support already. So more of that, please, Luke McCown, in the coming days and weeks and months. If you look at just finally at the race chart, it shows that Celtic were the dominant team by far in this game. The home side were given an 83% chance due to XG when everything was calculated, an 83% chance of winning the game. The next most likeliest result of that game would have been a draw at 13%, and the away team, who were Hearts on the day, had a 4% chance of winning the game. Really low levels for the away side. Probably a good defensive performance from Hearts, but in terms of attacking, there wasn't anything to really shout home about or be excited about, though they did show that they are better than the bottom side team, which they are at the moment. You look at the race chart, and Celtic were ahead after 10, 12 minutes with regard to this, and then they went ahead within 52, 53 minutes of the game. Once that was the case, they skyrocketed in XG and just kept on going, ending up at 2.39, which you can see at the top right-hand corner, and then 0.61, which is what Hearts ended up with on the day. So it was a good day's work for Celtic. Celtic go... They have 15 points. They're joint top with Aberdeen. They're 5 points clear of Rangers at the moment, who won the game 1-0 against Dundee United yesterday. I'm filming this on Monday afternoon, so it was Sunday afternoon that Rangers beat Dundee United. So they are 5 points clear of their great rivals. Thank you very much to everybody for watching this. Just a quick shout out. If you want to support our work just a little bit more, you can join our YouTube members channel for just £2.99 a month. You'll receive early video access, priority comments, and exclusive members chat function. I will be back with you after Wednesday's game against Slovan Bratislava to bring you all the stats that you need from Celtic's very first Champions League game of this season. Until then, hope you had a great day, hope you enjoyed the video, and please join us on the Celtic Way YouTube channel for all things Celtic in the days and weeks and months to come. Cheers guys, and have a very good evening.